All I can counter with is this. In my heart of hearts, as Dickens was wont to say, I know that I am indeed not a murderer, much less a monster. And so, let the telling begin. It must be presented in two parts, neither one more important than the other. For I was once a child when the horrors began, and when the horrors returned, the child had become a parent. I will leave nothing out. This I promise. And you, unseen stranger, will be my final judge. Chapter 1. Sumter, South Carolina, December 17th, 1979. 7 years old. I could smell Christmas in the air. A cold breeze swirled the dust, making it dance in the cement gutters of Main Street, and I could almost touch the excitement that filled it. As the same wind pierced my skin, sending shivers all the way to my bones, it felt no different than the trembling anticipation I'd experienced just a few minutes before, perched atop the lap of Santa Claus himself. If Santa Claus also worked part-time at the Brogden auto shop and smelled faintly of gin. I had asked for one thing and one thing only, figuring my odds improved with every elimination of non-essential requests. The sole object of my desire was the new Tonka truck that had just been released, a full-on bulldozer that came with its very own dump truck. I, of course, fully understood this actually constituted 2 Tonka trucks, but I hoped that old Santa would count it as one since they were of a pair. That, too tired to give a hoot about the distinction. "Tonka, huh?" the grizzled voice had cheerfully grumbled back at me as his plump leg bounced beneath my rump. "That's a mighty fine gift for a young'un your age. You think them dang old elves up yonder in the North Pole can whip that up?" He smiled, his teeth a mighty yellow, especially glimpsed through the fake white beard. "Yes, sir, I do," I had replied, trying to show all the confidence one can muster in such an anxious event. "Well, then," Santa said, "I reckon we'll just have to wait and see. Best be getting on now, and be a good boy for your mom and daddy down at the farm. Those are some good folk if I ever seen any in my life. Tell 'em old Jeffrey says howdy-do." I had laughed then, finding it hilarious that old man Brogden didn't even bother pretending he was actually the man himself. But all kids know very well that Santa has plenty of helpers scattered all over the world. It didn't bother me in the least or test my steely faith. My joy was uncapped, unfettered then. If only I could have frozen the universe, time itself, halted my inevitable growth. An insect, preserved in amber. A few minutes later, standing on the sidewalk beneath the sign for the Rexall drugstore, I rubbed my hands together, then hugged myself, trying to conjure some warmth out of the thin, cold air. My daddy was scheduled to arrive at any moment. He'd gone to market to sell a few bales of dried tobacco they'd saved from the autumn harvest. Normally I begged to go with him, listen to the auctioneers talk faster than an album with the RPM speed set too high. But I couldn't very well pass up a chance to speak to Santa now, could I? Well, Santa's helper, anyway. A vehicle turned onto Main Street up ahead, and I almost stepped forward until I saw that it wasn't my daddy's truck, despite being black, dusty, beat all to hell, and huge. It wasn't a truck at all, in fact. It was a hearse. Those big, scary things that transported smaller, scarier things, with Whitaker Mortuary stamped on its side doors. Not that you could actually read the words after a decade or two of wear and tear. Just a few letters of the logo had survived, along with a depiction of an old church's steeple sticking through the letter O in mortuary. But, legible or not, there was only one place in town that collected dead people, and only one man that drove the battered old hearse. Its engine burped and spat toxic fumes as it rumbled down the two-way lane, the windows so dusty I couldn't see the tiny man I knew sat behind the wheel. Wee Gaskins, jack of all trades when it came to the recently departed. Whatever Whitaker needed, Pee-wee provided. Picking up the deceased, cleaning the deceased, embalming the deceased, dressing the deceased, burying the deceased. People around town said old Wee Gaskins could dig a grave faster than Parson Fincher.